Alright, so we're going to go and do a quick video on how to use our Snap-on Ethos scanner. It's an OBD2 scanner, so anytime you have a check engine light, you're able to connect with the vehicle and at least pull the code, look what it is, do some diagnostics that way. Certain scanners allow us to check freeze frame data, look at live data. There's different elements of being able to look into what we call mode 6, which is like parameters of sensors. Lots of different options in how we can diagnose. So being able to use a scanner and use it efficiently is a fantastic tool to use for diagnosing. So we need to start by turning the engine on to the key on, engine off position. So you see all our dash lights will light up. And then we're going to click OBD here. And hopefully this will auto ID the vehicle. So we're using a 32-pin connector, which is our OBD2 port. They are always 30 centimeters of the center of the vehicle. Most of the time they are under the driver's side steering wheel. Sometimes in select Hondas I've seen it where they are on the actual passenger side or near the center console. All right, we're going to click OBD diagnose and hit start communication. So it says number of detected ECUs is 1. ECU is just a computer that it's able to communicate with. So let's go continue. So we can choose from readiness monitors, MIL status, which is malfunction indicator lamp. We can check out current data, freeze frame data, trouble codes. Let's just see what our MIL status is. And what that is essentially our check engine light. Awesome. So in this case scenario, we don't have a check engine light on. It means that the vehicle is operating normally. What we'll do is we'll look at current data and I'll show you what we're able to see when a vehicle is running and use as diagnostic tools. So here under data, we can see engine speed, absolute throttle. So that's how much our throttle plate is actually opening, closing. We can see our fuel systems, whether in open loop or closed loop. This means whether we're taking in the data from the oxygen sensor or not. Intake air temperature, engine coolant temperature, our flow rate, so how much air is actually being taken into the engine. You may see this as MAP, which you see down below here. So that stands for manifold absolute pressure. We can check out our ignition timing. So you may see that our ignition timing is advanced or retarded depending on the parameters of which the vehicle has been set. We can look at short-term and long-term fuel trims. And what that is when we add or subtract fuel to make the vehicle run better based off of the feedback from our oxygen sensors. We can look at oxygen sensors. So here we can see our O2 sensor 2 voltage bank. Generally oxygen sensors, we want them to switch, so they'll make a nice sinusoidal wave. Because the vehicle is off right now and not running, you won't see much, but I'll start it for a second and you can see. Nope, dead battery. Okay, so we're gonna just keep on looking through here. Oh, look at that. So, because I've started the vehicle and by habit turned it off, it's lost communication. So I'll have to turn the vehicle back on to the key on engine off position and reestablish communication. Okay, so we're back. Communicated with the vehicle again. Key is on. Some of the other data that we can see in here. Back to oxygen sensors, there's multiple different oxygen sensors in vehicles now. We can look at vehicle speed. This is great for diagnosing wheel speed sensors. In some case scenarios, we're able to see each individual wheel and be able to see if, let's say, our right front doesn't have a wheel speed input, that it would throw an ABS code or a brake code. And we're at the end of all of ours. So we're gonna go back and look at some of the other aspects that we can see. So freeze frame data is if we were to set a code, sometimes the vehicle will take a snapshot of what's happening in the vehicle for that specific code. So if I had a code, the data would show up here. It would tell me everything from the engine coolant temperature to how open the throttle was, what the battery voltage was, what the speed of the vehicle was, and it would allow me to help diagnose it in a more efficient fashion. Trouble codes, we know that there are none. Clear emissions related data. Since there's, well, let's see what's going on in here. This service will clear all emissions related diagnostic information, including the malfunction indicator lamp. We'll just leave that. Okay, so test parameters and results. Sure. It's not supported. So because this is a generic scanner and it's meant to work on all vehicles, sometimes we're unable to communicate with certain modules in cars. So if a Mercedes comes in here, I may not be able to talk to the ABS sensors or the ABS control unit, but I might be able to talk to a Chevy or a Honda. It's always kind of hit or miss that way. All right, we're gonna go back out here and see what other bits we've got. Request control on board, read vehicle identifications, in-use performance tracking. Really, that's about it. The majority of the functions on this are gonna be just for reading our malfunction indicator lamp or the check engine light, and then using different parameters to be able to check. So that's our check engine tool or our scanner in a nutshell.